Welcome to the Creative Mystic, where strong women wield magic and ancient wisdom. This is Chapter 2, Beginnings, of an Author's Tale by Elaine Correa. Hi, I'm back. So today I wanted to talk to you about uh, some of my past, some of the things that led me to get on this journey, some of the factors that played into it. One of the biggest factors that I still struggle with is I tend to be a hermit. I'm very shy. I grew up very shy. I was highly sensitive. And when you grow up as a highly sensitive, empathic child in a very religious family that does not believe in seeing spirits and talking to dead people or any of those sort of things, having psychic abilities, uh, you learn to shut them down, but you still feel everything. So I coped by going to my room. I was sick a lot. So I went to my room and I read. And I read voraciously all sorts of things, sci-fi, fantasy. I had my favorite authors like Ursula Le Guin and Norton, and sci-fi like Ray Bradbury, and uh, different, a whole bunch of different ones. There's so many I can't remember them all. And then I had books and books and books. And then I read anything Egyptian and anything Arthurian and anything paranormal, supernormal. They called it supernormal back then. And not too much about witches. They kind of scared me. And I was also very much afraid of the dark because I saw things in the dark and they scared me. And nobody was around to tell me, hey, this is okay. This is natural. This is normal. So I hope if you have children that are like that, you are encouraging them that it's okay and give them some tips on how to clear away these energies. In my adult life, I continued to read. That was my escape. That was my form of education. It was my way of dealing with the world. I would escape into another reality and I would totally immerse myself in that reality. Whether it was Alexander Dumas's Three Musketeers series, I loved him. He had so many books and I read as many as I could get my hands on. Or Victor Hugo's books or Charles Dickens, or there was a whole bunch of American authors. But I would get immersed in the stories, and this was really broadened by the fact that my um, husband at the time collected Classics Illustrated, and that was a great way for me to dabble into what did I want to read. And so I found some really fantastic stories. And once I read the cartoon version of it, I wanted to read the whole book. So I did a lot of reading. And as my life got busier and audiobooks started to come out, then I really started listening to a lot of audiobooks, both fictional stories and nonfiction, self-help, personal transformation, spiritual growth, all those things. So what drove all this was I got psoriasis at a very young age. I'm still working on that, as a matter of fact. But it's been like my driving force. It's been my guide. I hate to say it, it's been my friend my whole life. And it's kind of tried to keep me on my path, which it's hard to do, but it keeps reminding me. So I listen to all sorts of books, audiobooks, both fiction. I loved like the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, and I listened to quite a few of Terry Goodkind's, and Uh, lately, Deborah Darkness, Harkness, the Discovery of Witches. I really enjoyed that. So, I still, love the fantasy genre, probably even more than sci-fi. But I have been a dyed-in-the-wool Star Trek lover from when it first came out. And now I've been watching some of the new episodes that have been coming out, which has been really great. So all these things stimulated my imagination because when I'd read these things, I would be in this world and I would imagine myself as one of the characters. And what would I do in this situation? And how would I respond in this situation? And it's like one of the things I really liked about the Andre Norton books was that her characters always had some sort of a inner gift and they had to somehow awaken it. And that's what the story was about. There were more sci-fi books, as I recall. But they would have to solve some problem by developing this gift. And that's what really made an impression on me. And that became the root of my stories, whether it be the stories I tell myself or the stories that I started writing about. And so, that I grew up in a family-run business. So we were required to help out, do chores, and my mother had me balance her books, which I hated. But guess what? That became my job in my adult life was doing book work and tax preparation. That was, it helped bring home the bacon, pay for things. We had, when I was first married, we did all sorts of things. We traveled a lot. We, I learned how to operate equipment because we did logging and road building and things like that. And I came from my brother is a construction worker, so it all fit in. So I learned how to work on equipment, and I even rebuilt a Volkswagen motor all by myself. And so I have a wide variety of skills and talents that I learned. But and then I started focus. We bought a septic business and portable toilets, and so I worked that, and I had to run the whole show. So it's like there's all this more logical, material type of world, and I would escape off into my fantasy world because that was so much more fun than being in this reality. So eventually, after a bunch of years and years of business management, I finally said, okay, I'm done. I'm retiring. I want to write. Well, I didn't retire, but I cut back. Fire types can never retire. They just try to slow down, cut out a few little irons out of the fire. And so I cut back, and then I had this urge that I wanted to write. And in the next episode, I'm going to tell you what it was that actually triggered me, how I started writing this last series of books. So I will talk to you in the next episode. Until next time.